First of all, I would like to thank Focus Entertainment for introducing us to such a beautiful series.
You're the most reliable, steady, nice thing in the world.
As you know, the first game was very good, and since there are not as many unique games nowadays, I personally liked the first game very much. Although the gameplay in this series is not great, Focus manages to fascinate us with his story and storytelling. Especially Hugo. He made us love him with his cuteness.
Hello, motherfucker.
Anyway, let's get to the second game. Story. Black Day Requiem is a sequel to the first game and takes place a certain time after the end of the first game. Hugo, Amicia, their mother, and Lucas live a peaceful life for a short time. But Hugo's curse appears again. Hugo and Amicia discovers a castle and sneak into it, where they come across bad people. While she is about to defeat many of them and escape, Amicia loses to the last two people. She gets herself almost killed, but Mekula inside Hugo wakes up again, and he manages to save Amicia. Then the Wolf family tries to get rid of Hugo's sickness, the evil curse Mekula. In his dream, Hugo goes to a special place and sees that he is saved from Mekula, and then he tells this to his family. The only person who believes him is Amicia. His mother goes to a private man with connections to the order, and they decide to lock Hugo up. Amicia opposes this and reflects this to us very well. While all this is happening, since there must be enemies in the game, the soldiers are very bad people and are constantly trying to kill us. And we don't sit idle and kill a lot of soldiers, and we officially get onto the wanted list. All the commanders are after us, as if their sole purpose is to kill us. Anyway, in one part of the story, we fail to escape from the army by ship, and a commander catches us. He gives us a solid blow to the head, and Hugo gets angry and takes out the rest and drives the commander away. By the way, this commander is not an ordinary person. He has a very important place in the story. His name is Arnold. He will join our team later, but when he joined, most of us did not understand who he was. Since his face was barely visible during the part where we fought, many people like me could not understand who Arnold was, and he came to us later. I researched on Reddit and figured it out. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. After Hugo saves Amicia, they do not return to the ship and they just run away with Amicia. Together, they search from the place of Hugo's dreams. During the search, they enter a camp, and while there is no problem at first, the army raids here and searches for Amicia and Hugo. A priest-like man takes us secretly, but this action seems ridiculous to me. We don't even go stealthy, in fact. We literally walk behind the soldiers while they're questioning the people and searching for us. Soldiers are looting the area, asking everyone about a little boy and his older sister. But even though the people being questioned sees us, not a single person reveals us. It is impossible for the public not to recognize us from our sister and a little boy. We are literally walking away like nothing happening. Anyway, as we move on to the island, Sophia and Arnold join us on the journey. I think they are both great characters. I especially loved Sophia. She's a wonderful woman who is strong, intelligent, and able to stand on her own feet. I love strong and intelligent female characters in games, especially the old Lara Croft, who is my favorite female character in gaming. But unfortunately, they officially killed her after Underworld. To me, the last real Lara exists in Underworld. I hate the new Lara. Anyway, let's get back to our topic. They find Hugo's dream island, where everything seems too good to be true. Everyone is happy, kind, and nothing bad happens. It's like utopia. I immediately realized that bad things would happen from here, as almost so many stories has this cliché. The rulers of the island are a man called Count and a woman called Mother. The Count is Arnold's archenemy. Arnold's reason for joining us from the beginning was to kill the Count by taking advantage of Hugo's power. And when Arnold reveals his purpose, Amicia kicks his ass. Then Count and Mother host us, and we try to find Hugo's cure during the peaceful times we spent here. We find this place, but we also discover the old protector, the carrier of Mekula before us, and his protector like Amicia. This island belonged to the Order, and the same things literally happened again in the past. The healing thing is also a complete lie, and Mother turns out that it doesn't work. Hugo gives up, but Amicia still believes there is a cure. We also observe that the Count and Mother performing a ritual in holy water. They and the islanders worship the old carrier and await the arrival of the new one for salvation. Only the Count is aware of the facts and he lies his wife and people of the island. The only reason for this is his greed for power. He wants to rule the world by using the carrier. There will always be evil and scum people who want to rule the world, and that's what we see in this game too. Then our team explores the island in more detail and they literally find the dead bodies of the old carrier and protector. They now understand that there is no such thing as a cure. Then they make a strange decision like let's live in peace and wait for the curse to pass. But does the game end here? Of course no. Everything is just getting started. Kent and Mother knows from the beginning that Hugo is the carrier and they reveal themselves at the end. They try to kill everyone in Hugo's family except Hugo. So do they succeed? Unfortunately, their mother dies. By the way, just before that, the scenes of Amicia running away from Kent were very nice. Anyway, when Hugo's mother dies, Hugo goes crazy and infests the entire island with rats. In this part, we play as Hugo and he kills the mother. But Kent manages to escape. Then when we escape from the island, we save Arnold when he's about to be executed. After that, while at the sea, the Count and his men manages to attack our ship and kidnap Hugo. While all this is happening, Amicia is shot with an arrow and she loses consciousness. And Hugo goes crazy thinking Amicia is dead. Then strangely enough, we encounter them on the shore where we crashed. And a good battle starts out here. Arnold dies after being defeated in a strange way by the Count, who is weaker than him. And just he's about to die, he takes off the Count's helmet. Amicia throws a stone at Count's head, killing him. I didn't like how easily the Count died and writers waste Arnold. Anyway, since Hugo thought Amicia was dead, he surrendered himself completely to Macula and started to take over the world with rats. When we find Hugo, but since it is no longer possible to save Hugo, our only option is to kill him. And Hugo says all of this. Just as Amicia was about to kill Hugo, the game bugged for me. I restored the scene and fixed it, and Amicia killed Hugo. Then with a snap, the game ended, and I stared at the screen strangely. What? Is that all? Fortunately, they used the tactic to mislead the player. After the credits, a long cutscene enters and we see the real ending.
I wouldn't miss this. Careful, I smell like a goat.
And I look like a man.
I didn't believe Hugo was dead and thought he would came out of nowhere. When Amicia went to a cemetery and I thought it was her mother's cemetery, Hugo is really dead, friends. Then the real credits appear. But after that, there is another cutscene. We see a child who is next to carrier in a hospital where there is clearly modern technology in the future. I don't think Hugo has ever been resurrected. I think this person whose arm is visible is the carrier after Hugo. I don't know if there will be a sequel, but I think it is clear that Hugo and Amicia's story is over. Were there glitches in the story?
Yes.
Of course there were. For example, like Amicia is the luckiest person in the world, she never dies. She's like Hollywood character. We can think like Nathan Drake in Uncharted. While the bosses can literally mess with us and they could kill us immediately, they only just deal the first blow to wound us. Also in this story, Lucas is the hero behind the hero. He's really brave and always saves us when we have lost our way and are about to fail. He's a very brave boy for his age and he's my true hero. Let's move on to the gameplay. First of all, I would like to point out that there were many parts of the gameplay that got me bored. Many parts were walking simulators, and many places do not allow you to run. These parts annoyed me a lot because they consumed a lot of time and were too much. As for the rats, it seemed to me that we did not encounter them as much as in the first game. I may be wrong because it's been years since I played the first game. Anyway, the gameplay of the game generally consists of stealth, which was the case in the first game too. Is this bad?
No.
No, it's not, because we are controlling a teenage girl. From time to time, Hugo makes us use his powers, or we can give commands to the side characters accompanying us. Therefore, I think the gameplay design is good when we look at the universe. Let's also remember that this game is not a AAA game. Let's get to skills and upgrade system. Our skills develop according to our playing style. There are no classic upgrade system. and I like that. But we upgrade our equipment with parts we collect from around. Crafting and equipment upgrade system is classic. There is nothing different about that part. By the way, crossbow's arrow recovery upgrade makes the game extremely easy. I think that's the strongest skill. When we got this, we can kill everyone with one shot at the body except full armored soldiers. But you can drop their armor if you can hit their weak points. At the beginning of the game, when we are very weak, we often have to stealth killing from behind. But the animation is so long that others can see us until we kill the enemy. But in general, I find the gameplay quite good. Even though everything is not perfect, it is fine. Also, the gameplay mechanics specially designed for bosses and epic stages are quite enough for a game that is not AAA. Bosses are not repetitive either. Almost all of them are designed with different gameplay mechanics. There are many variations such as running away, hiding, fighting and solving puzzles. But the scenes where we run away from the rats are one of the best parts of the game. Towards the end, we literally use flamethrowers on the rats. I think that was one of the most epic scenes in this game. Now, I want to skip the gameplay and throw out my thoughts in general. Voice acting really caught my eye in this game. Although it was generally normal, it felt really bad in some places. For example, sometimes they whisper unnecessarily. They set the whisper parts at full volume. It needed to be a little quieter. Also, there is no 3D effect in most conversations and this shouldn't happen. Even 20 years old games doesn't have this problem. It felt very strange to hear everyone's voice at the same level regardless of their location. For example, let's say the MEC is whispering and there is Lucas in the distance. Even MEC and Lucas whispering, their volume level is the same. Developers literally put the voice recordings flat without editing. The problem is not with the voice actors, but with those who designed the sound and put it in the game. Also, sometimes the voice our character makes doesn't match our current actions. As for the graphics, the game was made with Unreal Engine 5. The environment looked so great, but the character models won't make you say wow. I can say that the graphics are generally very nice. I didn't have any problems with the performance either. Even though my PC is very powerful, I play most games on my PS5 because PC ports are generally crap right now, so I don't want to deal with it. So I finished this on PS5. The performance was smooth. Let's get to the music. The music of the game is above average, not very good but definitely above average. Level design was also very good. I didn't encounter anything that looks bad. As for rating, I can easily give this game an 8. Overall, it's a great game with wonderful story. Focus Entertainment makes unique and quality games. For example, Evil West literally carries the spirit of a PS2 era game. Now I'm finishing it and I will review it too. In conclusion, if you are looking for a good story and storytelling, you should definitely play this game. It was even released on PS Plus this month. You can try it for free. If you don't like it, you can delete it. Plague Tale Requiem is a very high quality game for today, and Focus Entertainment has made a very good game for their budget. Actually, it would be more accurate to consider the first game and this as a one game. We can clearly understand that they made the entire series with love. Let's end this review here. Before you leave, don't forget to check out our Instagram page. Goodbye.